If you think about it, socialism used to mean seizing the means of production, taking over the factory. But today it's associated with universal health care, free child care. And this is partly a result of decades of calling any tax increase or any spending increase socialism. Now, people, the general public, including a lot of young people, associate socialism with basic public goods rather than literally Soviet-style communism.
When you look at people's views about universal health care, more than half, 59%, believe that it's largely socialist. In one way, it sort of makes sense because the idea of universal health care has been championed recently by Bernie Sanders, who refers to himself as a democratic socialist. However, I do think it's important to note when you look at these poll numbers that 1 in 4 Americans don't know. They just don't know if universal healthcare is a capitalist idea, a socialist idea.
Essentially, every major developed country in the world is a mixed economy. It has a mix of government and a mix of the private sector. And that is not socialism, that is just modern democratic capitalism. But because socialism, partly the fault of the right, quite frankly, defining any sort of expansion of government as socialism, has really defined down the public's definition of what socialism means to just meaning the things that we already have, like Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. And that's really not the case. In fact, I think it's somewhat dangerous rhetorically to think of socialism as just normal public goods that the government provides in countries around the world.
Now, what we do know from some other public polling that was done, Gallup has shown this recently, Pew, NBC, others, that more people have a negative view about the term socialism than they have a positive view. So it's just slightly over half say that they feel negatively about the idea of socialism. This is largely, not surprising, there is a big partisan split here. This is largely driven by Republicans.
I think the main thing driving youthful demand for socialism is really just the escalating cost of basic goods, right? So healthcare is increasingly expensive, college tuition is increasingly expensive, childcare and housing, and it's that those costs and that cost spiral that young people are facing.